Gotta tune that thing up. The all-out May 1st teacher rally is the topic of why I teach Today in the Woods.
Today in the Woods.
I absolutely love teaching at Louisville High School. I have outstanding fellow teachers. I have outstanding administrators. The Chester County District Office has been tremendously supportive of what I've been doing in the classroom, which has allowed me to be successful at teaching. So I love Chester County School District. So it's because of my great love for my school district and my home where I live and work that I want to go and support this all-out May 1st rally in Columbia. In no way, shape, or form is it to spite the place that I love so much. I know the struggles that public education faces. If public education could be reformed in the right ways, it would help all of us working together in public education to do what we know needs to be done. I tell all my students, every new class at the beginning of the semester, I tell my students that each of you is a miracle beyond my comprehension, because I honestly believe that to be true. I know that within the heart and soul of each of my students, there's a divine wonder and greatness just waiting to be shared with the world. And so I'm not scared about all the problems facing the world, because I know there's greatness within that classroom, and there's an answer to every problem that we have. And so it's so important to me that we take this opportunity to do what needs to happen with public education so it can continue to grow onward, outwards, and upwards. Dabo Swinney, and whether you're a Clemson fan or not, or even a football fan or not, you can appreciate the metaphor. When Dabo Swinney took over the head coaching job at Clemson in 2008, he was asked during one of his earlier press conferences, what are you going to do to make Clemson like Notre Dame, like Alabama, like Miami? And Dabo Swinney's response is wonderful. Dabo said, I don't want to make Clemson more like Notre Dame or Alabama. I want to make Alabama and Notre Dame want to be more like Clemson. And in that same way, that's why I'm so disappointed in this bill passed already in the House and up to be passed in the Senate, because it falls so woefully short of making BEST the standard. In other words, I don't want to just come up with a bill that meagerly gets by. I want a bill that breaks through the roof. One of my favorite poets, Dr. Vivian Ayers, in her poem, The Hawk, and she's from Chester, by the way, has a line that says, I looked up and I thought, thank God there is a sky. And her poem's about just busting out onwards, outwards, and upwards past all conceived limitations. And that's what we have the potential to do. So I don't want to be like California. I want California to say, hey, let's be more like South Carolina in public education. I want Vermont to say, let's be more like public education in South Carolina. I want all the states in the nation to look at South Carolina as a light on the hill because we got it right. And how do we get this bill right? Well, you get something right when you listen to those who know the best. When I want to change something in my classroom, who I listen to the most are my students, because my students are the ones who what I'll be doing in the classroom will affect the most. So common sense says, if you want to do something better, listen to those who will be the most affected and will give you the most meaningful input. Now, I have become a much better teacher now than when I started. And the way I did that was by listening to my students. So if you listen to teachers, not as an afterthought, not just to go through the motions, not to push whatever political agenda you're trying to push in the name of increase teacher pay and reduce testing, because by the way, the bill takes away a few tests over here and it adds about 5 more over here. Just read the bill. It actually adds more testing to even lower grades, assessments, and we just don't need that. You need to trust teachers for us to do what we do best. And if you did that, then by God, teachers could help write a bill that just doesn't get us by, that just doesn't improve us a little bit from 45th to 42nd education, but teachers could help you write a bill that students are excited about coming to school. Students can't wait to get to school. Students know that it's either going to be so much fun or it's going to be so meaningful and enriching that they want to be there. We can do that. Teachers understand this. And again, this all comes with dreaming big. BEST is the standard. Make South Carolina public education a light on the hill. It's already right here. Another example is how Coach Floyd proved at Chester High School, who for years has been everybody's homecoming game. Coach Floyd went to Chester High School and said, you are great, and we're going to prove that. Chester High School went 15-0, won the state championship. BEST is the standard. So teachers, this is so important that we unite for our schools, for our principals, for our superintendents, that we all join together because we all have an amazing voice, an amazing piece to add to what we know public education needs. Langston Hughes has a poem, Let America Be America Again. And in that poem, Langston Hughes has a very haunting line that says, America never was America to me. And so as great as America has been for me, I recognize it has not been that great for everyone. And if you doubt this to be true, just look around at the public education situation. In South Carolina right now, our public schools are in terrible shape, and there's no way we can go into those crumbling schools with those burned out teachers, with those over-test students, and tell them that America has been America for them. And if we're ever going to break the systemic institutional problems that have plagued not just our state, but our country, education is the key, because education helps each student realize that she or he is ultimately his or her best teacher. That's what I tell my students. I'm not here to teach you what to learn. I'm here to teach you how to learn, to have that wonderful American ideal of self-realization, self-liberation, self-reliance, just explosion outward. Think about how great that would be for our country, to give that opportunity to help each student become that strong, that autonomous, that deep of a thinker, and expressing it, because the greatness is there. The greatness is there. And so as great as America has been for me, I want America to be that great for every one of my students. And so the best way I look at serving my country that I love so much is being sure that each of my students get to that American dream, so they don't have to continue to be like the line in Langston Hughes, America never was America to me. And if we keep stripping away funding and what public education needs, we're killing the American dream, the great hope. How does the American dream happen? How does someone, quote, pull themselves up from the bootstraps? How do we build strong communities? We do it through strong schools. As Socrates said, to know the good is to, by God, do the good. And if you listen to the wisdom of the teachers, class size is critical. Class size is critical. Let me just give you an example. If you're an English teacher and you have 100 students in a year, just do the math on this. With 100 students, if you assign even a paragraph and spend 5 minutes grading each paragraph, that's 500 minutes to grade one paragraph. And so this is one reason that, quite honestly, writing is a major, the writing ability of our students is suffering, because it's just not practically possible for one person to give meaningful feedback. And that's one reason, instead of having meaningful, thought-provoking work, we just have a bunch of standardized multiple choice tests, because you can just run it through the Scantron or have the computer grade it. And that's not what teaching is about. Teaching isn't about giving a grade or giving a number. Those are miracles in our classrooms, divine wonders. They don't need just to have a number. They don't need to be told what they're bad at. They need to be celebrated. They need to be worked with. They need to be listened to. Teachers need to be listened to as well. And again, I'm so grateful that I teach in a school district and at a school that listens to teachers. Again, my administrators do a wonderful job of listening to teachers, and our school district in Chester County has done a wonderful job listening to us. South Carolina, I don't want a bill reform that makes us 40th or 35th. I want a bill that makes us the top, the model for the country. And we can do that, just like I discovered greatness in my classroom. It's already there. Just look and listen for it. So all out on May 1st to let the voices of teachers, or letting the voice of their students, or letting the voice of their schools, their principals, superintendents be heard. We're doing great things. We just need your support and your ears to listen, so we can all collectively work together. It's what's best for our state, it's what's best for our country, it's what's best for each of us. Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to being there in Columbia on May 1st for the All Out Day. I'm continuing to highlight teachers here. I've gotten so much feedback from Mr. Worthy Own for the Why I Teach series, with great wisdom to share from our teachers. We're not just teachers. We're not just students or principals, administrators. We are the instruments of bringing the American dream and what this country is meant to be to each and every life, one student at a time. Thanks so much.